Okay, so I know you guys want to hear about the Ludwig drama. I know you guys want to hear about the Ludwig drama. Well, my friend, a mutual of mine. I can't say friend because we haven't met in person, but a mutual of mine, Sean the Black. He was in iDubbbz's content cop video. He's like I said, he's in the Hassan Zeitgeist. He dropped a video titled "Comedy or Cultural Theft: The Rise of AAVE as Content," and it had Ludwig on the thumbnail. So I believe he is going to be discussing about Ludwig and what he was doing at DreamCon, shit like that. And I wanted to have a take on what basically just how I feel about it, and if there's any like validity to it. Spoiler alert: there's probably some validity to it, but I probably don't feel as strongly as Sean does about it. So we'll try to have an objective look. Ludwig is the whitest guy ever. No way. That's kind of the point, right? The point of what we're talking about is like, is someone that white purposefully putting himself in black situations to farm content just by being his silly white ass self? You see what I'm saying? Like, the content is the fact that it should be awkward, the fact that he's in these black spaces. So he's leveraging the awkwardness as a source of content. Anyway.
Hey, you know what? We'll get back to Hassan in a second, maybe. One thing that I want to talk about, right, that's kind of tangentially related to the term slave hot.
No, I think that's a reach. Well, that's kind of the point of watching the video and discussing it. You shouldn't have such a closed mind off grip. You're allowed to have opinions, but we should watch what other people say and see how they feel about it, and then see if their opinions open up a new thought process in our brains. That's kind of how like learning goes. That's kind of how new thoughts and opinions form. You know what I mean?
Do y'all remember a few days ago?
Also, if you think Ludwig doesn't set up these situations and he just ends up in them, I really hate to tell you, but that is how 99% of all content creator situations go. If you think we aren't purposefully setting up jokes, I have a thing or two. I have snake oil to sell you.
Told y'all that fine shit would be taken and commodified. Y'all remember that? Y'all remember?
I mean, of course, fine shit
like,
was going to turn into a
phrase.
joke. It's the same as Riz. It's the same as anything else. Of course, fine shit shows up.
Watch.
I've actually heard the truth. I got banned specifically because I covered the motives of the Israeli embassies.
Pause. Also, I want to point out, this is something I saw. Actually, I really posted a video or something on somewhere, but like, fine shit is the new thing that's being taken from AAVE. It's being stolen and commodified in real time. You might not have seen it yet, chat. It might not have hit your feed, but it's coming. It's coming.
That's crazy that he. Well, I mean, it was an easy prediction, but the fact that he called it so early is pretty good.
Coming. You're gonna start seeing.
I think Extra Emily's a better example. They both fit the narrative. Actually, well, I'll hold my tongue until then. I'll let the video play out.
What's that?
Mr. Beast got hit with the Dominican Ray.
No.
Mr. Beast is another good example of all of this is the same thing.
Once the start saying it, this was May 28th, or technically this was 26th.
Wait, that was May 26th of 2025, bro. Fine shit has been being used for like the past 6 months. Fine shit has been around for like damn near a full year at this point. Don't say fine shit's the next thing to go. Dude, fine shit has been gone. People have been saying fine shit for months now. It's been gone. But yeah, anybody with a fucking brain could have seen that fine shit was going to be the thing. And like now it's already moving on. The next word is ball. Men are going around calling women their ball, which is just nasty. Yeah, cracked is another one. That one will be hitting the mainstream in the next couple months or two. Ball will inevitably take over it's like the word of the summer. I'm sure.
May 26th.
You don't get points for calling fine shit fucking 2 months after it happened or 3 months after it happened.
2025. This was like 4 days ago. This was yesterday.
There you have it. The Huz have spoken.
You guys on
Sorry,
me?
I am fine shit. Captain, tell him I'm fine shit.
We have to prove our worth. If we get to day 2, you'll unlock fine ship status. It's
That makes sense.
like a credit card.
Aww.
Okay, let's get these
Do
treasure
you know
chests.
Discover's accepted like everywhere?
That's not how it gets introduced, but we are sharing slang, which leads to this.
LOL. So before he even gets into the breakdown of like why of like what this shit is, I'm going to give you the most basic interpretation of how this shit goes every single time. Black people do shit that's funny that they come up with randomly that's really fucking fun. Or just anybody, but typically in content creation spaces in recently for sure, it's been black people. Ever since like the rise of AMP and like Kai to the forefront of Twitch, whatever they say, which that's fun, becomes the new norm. And once they say it, other content creators want to say it because it's fun. Like they dictate the vocabulary of the time. It happens very frequently. This is not new. I think the problem is, and I think he'll probably discuss it too, is that people that do not know the history or the lore or participate in the culture of the events, when they say it, it just comes across really shitty because you are participating in the word, but not in the actual culture of that surrounds the word. And that's what feels like appropriation or like the theft of content, is that like when Ludwig says it, he's not like in the content creator like he doesn't really fuck with a lot of the people that we fuck with. Not to say that he doesn't fuck with Kai. Of course he's done content with Kai. Of course, like da. But like Squeaks, you know what I'm saying? Like the niggas that he's hanging around in that video, there's not a direct link to the word fine shit anywhere in there. You know what I'm saying? So to take that without kind of paying homage to the people that like created it is where people get irritated. Agent was around there too. Yes. Oh no, that was Elden Ring Night Rain. That wasn't the tournament. That was Elden Ring Night Rain. The easiest way I can explain it to y'all is like, imagine, so the shit that people get pissed off about Drake for. Drake's a culture vulture. He's just showing up, taking people's music styles and then dipping out. That is what content creators do consistently. Right? And currently, and I mean all the time it happens with black content creators content for sure, but recently it's been like very bad, whereas like as soon as somebody says anything new, the shit gets ran to hell super fast. And people like Ludwig and Extra Emily are like the God, what is they are like the last stop before shit gets bad. What do I mean by that? Is it like, I'll put it to you like this. Ludwig's fans don't know what DreamCon is, right? So when Ludwig says shit like fine shit, or he'll be like, oh, I was at DreamCon talking to fucking fine shit or da-da-da-da-da, they're going to be like, what's DreamCon? And then they like the fact that they don't know what DreamCon is, but they're using the lexicon and the vocabulary and the slang that like comes from that area. That's where it's like, oh, we've lost the plot basically. So when it hits Ludwig and Ludwig starts saying the shit to his chat, and like he might understand it because he had the correlation to them and that's where he learned it from, but none of his fans do. That's where people start getting irritated, because it's like those fans start saying it and it's like, nigga, you're not even involved in this. You're just saying the word that you heard Ludwig say. You don't even know what's going on over here. You don't know the originator. You don't know like why the shit's funny. You're just like taking it. The same thing happened with, and this was like the biggest one. Well, it happened with like Thought. God, what was the one that like blew up? The one that blew up and everyone, they had like an acronym for it. And we were like, what the fuck are you talking about? Gyat. It was gyat. Everyone said, girl, your ass thick. And it was like, nigga, you don't, that's not what it was. That was never what it was. It's just goddamn. So the fact that like you didn't know what it was and you had to fucking like make up some shit because your little fucking twink brain could, like, you guys always acronym shit over there. So you just had to learn what it was. So you just made some shit up because you don't come from the action. Like you're not learning anything. You're not paying homage to where it comes from. You're not paying homage to the history of the culture. And that's where it starts to feel like shit. And it's kind of, yeah, someone made it into an acronym. And it all goes back to like, it is a content creator's job to let you know where these things come from. Like whoever is taking the word and applying the word and using the word, it is kind of up to them to set the precedent that this is like where they got it from, or to like pay proper homage, right? And I feel like people like Ludwig, people like Extra Emily, they don't do a very good job of doing that, right? Which they don't really have to. Like, I think at the end of the day, Ludwig is just saying shit that's funny, and he's being a funny guy because he knows awkward situations make things funny. Same with Extra Emily. They know awkward situations. Like, what the fuck a white boy doing in Arlington, Texas? Like, you know what I'm saying? What the fuck a polar bear doing in Arlington, Texas? Type shit. That's funny. It's funny to see a quirked up white boy at DreamCon not knowing shit and still acting like he belongs there. That's a funny premise, right? But it comes with the negative of you're going to have these weird situations where people don't know where shit comes from, and it's not going to feel good to, you know, have basically your words stolen and turned into some stupid shit. That's why shit becomes less fun.
Who's sharing slang? That's not, you're just objectively incorrect, chatter. You're objectively incorrect. This does not happen by us sharing slang. It doesn't. It doesn't. This happens when non-black people start using black slang that they hear from the rappers and the athletes, right? And the popular black people. And then other white people taking it from them and then start using it. There's no passes being handed out. The commodification of black language does not happen with the permission of the black community.
You see, I knew I wasn't going to agree with him to a certain extent. He's right about, like, that's how it happens, but I don't think people need permission to use slang words. Like, obviously, like slurs and all other shit, they obviously you would, but I don't think you need specific permission to like use things. I think you just need to be critical about the application of using things as jokes, right? You can obviously like use things as jokes, but you need to know, one, your audience, and you need to know what they can work with, right? I'm sorry to like Ludwig's my guy. Like I've told you this many times. Like even after the shit that went down with me and him, I still love his shit. I still love his content. I have a deep respect for him. But like I know your audience, big dog. When I went to his chess boxing event, there were two niggas there. Two. Me and Balvin. Two. I only saw him. That was it. Not nary a black person to be seen. Besides me and Balvin. And Myth, who was in the event. So it's like knowing your audience and knowing what can work and can't work and this, that, and the third, it does get odd. It does. And this is not like a censorship thing. It's just like we all understand that you are taking something that you don't understand entirely, and you're making awkward jokes with it, and it's gonna that joke's gonna get buried into the ground way faster. You know what I mean? I don't know about permission, but it is annoying to hear ignorant people using words wrong. Like if I hear someone say "crash out" to talk about someone getting a little angry, I'm actually gonna lose my shit. Yeah, it's just one of those things. I feel like anyone uses the words, but if we can tell you don't know what the fuck it means, it's high-key irritating. That is correct. It's like when you use the word and we know you don't know what it means. It's like, well, why are you fucking saying it? And in this clip, it like I don't think Ludwig even says it correctly. Hold on, let me rewind it. I don't even think he says fine shit correctly. Hold on. Balvin sounds like Bizarre World Tevin. Balvin's the homie, bro.
This does not happen by us sharing slang. Who's sharing?
Everywhere.
Credit card. You'll unlock.
Captain, tell me.
This was yesterday.
There you have it. The Huz has spoken.
You guys on
Sorry,
me?
I am fine shit.
He says the Huz have spoken, and he said, no, I'm not Huz, I'm fine shit. What the fuck are you talking about? What the fuck are you talking about? Do you know what either of those words mean? Fine shit does not apply to girlfriend. It doesn't mean like you are not removed from Huz. You just said that. You just said you're like, oh, I'm not Huz, I'm fine shit. You're just using. It's like I know these words. I know some of these words. Let me just lob them out.
Captain, tell him I'm fine shit.
We have to prove our worth. If we get to day 2, you'll unlock fine shit status.
And he's like, if we make day 2, you unlock. Which honestly, Squeak's kind of a bar. Squeaks took what was there and he turned it into a whole new joke. So I kind of fuck with what he's saying. But like at the same time, it's irritating. I think it's also African American slang and vernacular being seen as Gen Z or brain rot speech. I think that's like a whole different issue where people are not real. Like here, that whole thing can be summed up by like white adults hear children say shit and just assume that it's children shit. And when in reality, children are getting it from the most popular content creators of our time, which happen to be black. So they're missing the step. So it's like black content creators to children to white adults. White adults assume that it comes from children when in reality it came from the content creators. You see, they're attributing it to children where do you think children are learning it from? Which is irritating. You know what I mean? Because, but it makes sense, right? It does make sense, but it can be irritating.
From the rappers and that, the commodification of black language does not happen with the permission of the black community.
But I do want to say that I think that is an overcorrection. Like, you don't need permission to use words. There are so many times where fucking black, like before the black boom of Twitch, it was like poggers and shit. And like black content creators, they didn't know what poggers and shit meant, and they were using that shit willy-nilly. It was the same situation. It was the same situation. It's just a matter of like who is using what without knowing what.
It just doesn't. Like, I don't think Ludwig started using fine shit because he heard Cardi say fine shit or whatever. I think Ludwig started using.
Also, Cardi didn't even start fine shit. I think fine shit started as a stupid ass fucking TikTok meme. Like, no, it came from like a regular ass black person who just said it one time. Oh, was Laser dim? Really? See, even I didn't know that.
Fine shit because he heard Jason say fine shit.
Yeah, that's definitely true. Ludwig probably heard it from Jason.
And Jason got it from the black people. And so like Ludwig and Slime and Squeaks heard fine shit from the young people who I will say are at least more engaged.
I will say if anybody in this group of people could say Huz and fine shit and shit like that, Slime and Nick Falco from the Yard podcast, dog, they really tapped in. They be listening to battle rap and shit. And I'm like, you know what? That's more than some niggas will get into. like the bastardization of the word unk, that's probably one of the worst ones. That's like one of the worst ones. The unk shit, like, bro, I was calling my old heads unk when I was like 4. Unk has been around forever. So is gat. Like that, those were around forever. So the fact that they're like new words, come on, bro. Come on, bro. I've been calling people don't know. People don't know. That is frustrating because if you don't know where it comes from and you don't pay homage to it, you're going to act like it's this brand new fucking thing that just came out overnight. It didn't.
In black culture, and they take it back to their spaces and they use it as like ironic language.
Oh, okay. Now he's spitting. Hold on. Wait a minute. He might have. Oh, shit. Oh, he's about to start spitting for real. I already know what. Oh, he's getting into it. Yeah, I was literally just talking about this. Using it as like ironic, awkward humor instead of the proper formation that it went through. This is where like I can say that there is a sort of appropriation to it because using it, knowing it's like ironic and quirky and whatever for fun can be kind of irritating.
And they take it back to their spaces and they use it as like ironic language because that's what the youth are saying. And it becomes the butt of the joke.
Yep.
That's what happens here.
Yep.
Okay, yeah, I'll give you this one.
No, because if you're using it as a joke, what the fuck is the joke other than those other people? Am I right? Exactly. Literally, exactly. It's like, you know, I'm this guy that doesn't look like he should be using the word. Because the people that do use this word, I mean, those fucking guys, am I right? One of those things. And I know that, like, again, it's in jest. Ludwig is cool with niggas. Like, he's cool with the RDC world and them. Like, I've talked to them and like the shit is cool. It is just different and mildly frustrating to a degree. It is just different and mildly frustrating to a degree to know that the shit that you've cultivated as words in your vocabulary as a culture gets used ironically as the butt of a joke.
This is where it took
That's
off.
it. That's
Yes.
it.
This
That's
is not
it.
the origin, right, of the term fine shit or the word fine being used to describe a beautiful woman. That has happened for decades. And this isn't even coming at like this guy, right? I'm not even talking about this guy or Max. They're using language that has been used within black culture normally. I don't expect rappers to like not use language that they've been using,
True.
right, in their music.
I saw a fucking at DreamCon. Because if you don't know, okay, I'll say it like this. Black people in the chat from the South. If you're from the South, especially Texas, and somebody says something to you, and instead of saying like, I understand or I get it, what would you say? Like if somebody was like, man, it's hot as hell out here. Instead of being like, I know that's right. What would you say? You would say, already. That's what they say. Especially down here in Texas. They'll say, already. All the fucking time. When I went to DreamCon, there was this white woman. I'm not going to name names, but she was a content creator. And I was talking to her about something, and she said, already. And I was like, you didn't use that correctly at all. You just heard it and thought that you could. There's a cadence to the way you say it. You got to say, already. That is literally how you have to say it. Already. But she said, already. Just like that. And it's like, what are you trying to do? What is that? Also, what up, K-Dot? That shit is gross and it's nasty. And that's what I mean by if you don't learn the history of it, the cadence is literally what it is. Like, it's not even about the word. It's just already. I just looked at her crazy. I was like, oh, where'd you learn that? Low-key snow cone. Yeah. So yes, there are examples of this in real life.
Of course they are. The problem
Already.
is non-black
What up,
people
Cardiac?
will hear that language. And
It was
be
cool
like,
seeing you at the
"Oh,
Cuban
no,
Buck
that's a
party.
cool thing
Likewise,
to
my
use
brother.
now." Because I heard
She said that shit like SpongeBob. She did say that shit like SpongeBob. She did say that shit like SpongeBob, dog. She said, already? Oh. Oh. Oh, a really good one to talk about is switch down or Swiss cheesed. Yeah, I don't even know. There's just it's every word now, Mo. I'm horny.
SpongeBob. Already tears of joy.
Tears of joy. Star, thanks so much for the 8 months. I appreciate it. I told her too. I was like, "Oh, where'd you learn that?" She said, "That's what they say down here in Texas." I said, "I know. I know. I'm from the Midwest. I've been here." Never heard of switch down. That is like YN shit. Speaking of, YN is another one. That's young nigga shit for sure. For sure. I mean, switch has been around for a long ass time, right? But it's just another way of saying gun down. Switch, Swiss cheese, up pole, slimed out. All of the shit is like just people regurgitating shit we've heard before.
I heard a rapper say it, right? So now it's no longer.
Also, how much y'all want to bet? Like, I didn't know this came from Laser Dim, but I know Laser Dim. How many of you think legitimately that Ludwig and Extra Emily know who Laser Dim is? What are the odds? What are the odds? Do we know? Probably 0, yeah. 40%. Star, you're giving him way too much. You're giving him a lot of credit. It would be so crazy if Extra Emily was like, "Oh yeah, I fuck with Laser Dim 700." Him and Benji Bluebills are my favorite. I'll be like, "God damn." You're tapped in. You're tapped in, twin. Okay, fuck it. Never mind. Fuck. They gonna think it's an EDM artist. That's funny as hell.
Language that is used in the black community. Now it's cool people slang because a rapper is saying.
My French mom was banging Laser Dim. That's a crazy. That's crazy verbiage.
Taken by
crazy
all non-black
verbiage.
people who are using it ironically to make fun of the young black.
If she
non-black
did, she
people.
could have
That's
that
what's happening.
already.
You have like
Already.
black people using language with other black people.
Correct.
And creating slang, and then you have non-black people seeing this language be exchanged around.
Correct.
And they start taking it and they start using it with other, sometimes black people, but also sometimes other non-black people. And so this becomes its own situation, which then, on top of that...
But you can't stop this, right? You literally can't stop this. It is not possible to prevent this phenomenon from happening because this is just like how anything becomes mainstream. It's just word of mouth and hearsay, right? Oh, I heard it from this guy. Oh, but I heard it from this guy. Oh, but I heard it from this guy. I heard it from this person. I think it's just important that if you don't know where something comes from, you should probably look into the thing, right? Because the more you understand, because we're talking about like shut your bitch ass up, fucking sideball or whatever the fuck you guys call it. Or what was the other one you guys taught me about? On some chill shit. OSCS. Like, that was something I didn't know about the anagrams, but I do know where the words come from. I've been hearing on some chill shit since I was like 8 or 9. I've heard about fucking shut your bitch ass up. I know about shut your bitch ass up since I was a fetus. It doesn't hit. You're right. It don't hit at all. Neither of those hit at all. But because I know where the official words, the vocabulary comes from, it's easier to understand.
Older non-black people will see that what's going on here, and they will take it and they will start ironically using that same language with other older non-black people. And
yeah, this is where you start losing it right here. This is like, okay, this is where you've lost it. This is where you've lost the plot. This is why commercials and movies and shit are always like several years behind when it comes to like jokes and shit, because old non-black people are hearing about jokes way after the fact. Yeah, but I feel like there is a lack of respect for it since it's still in English, whereas even though it still happens, other cultures get credit and respect. Yeah, for sure. Acronym. I said anagram. I'm so stupid. I bet you know. Get your ass in the goddamn house before I beat your ass. Yeah, it literally rolls off the brain when you read it.
That's where we are now, and this happens.
It's funny because I had a white mom. But I did hear that many times. What about torta? Now, see, that just means fat. But again, that's a similar thing. Like I said, it's not a phenomenon that just happens with black people. Black people also do the same thing, or a content creator. It's just the history of language. I think it's just most annoying because black culture is so often viewed through the lens of they are so entertaining, but we don't want to give them the respect of coming up with these words. You know what I mean? But yeah, 100%. Torta is the same thing. I don't even know who started using. What was it, Phantom? Like who started that towards Senna? I know Rage uses it the most, but like who started that?
Consistently. It also seems like when Ludwig uses these terms, he's almost making fun of it, like he knows what he's doing or something. He does know what he's doing.
See, Ubertio. This is what I mean by like he does know what he's doing. He is carefully crafting the words that he chooses because he is very good at improv. Now, I'm not saying that the moments are presented to him in which to say these things and do these things, but content creators, especially live streamers, are really, really good at taking a situation and being very witty about the words they should use, or setting up narratives in their mind and creating scenarios based on how things should go. Every good content creator worth their salt can do that on a whim, right? So to say like he doesn't know about it, or he's like not doing it on purpose, or like they all are, everybody is, including me. I've definitely set up scenarios in which, because it was the most entertaining thing to say or do, it's easier to walk into those kind of situations. Fun fact. So with the my ball thing, DDG planned it out beforehand. Not the word itself, but he did create that scenario of knowing where it would go, right? I'll give you an example. The Louise joke from the Yu-Gi-Oh drinking game. It's one of everybody's favorites. I knew I was going to make that joke before we even started recording because I picked the episodes. So I picked the one with Beaver Warrior in it so I could bring up the fact that I knew it was Louise. You thought I just remembered that off the cuff? No. You see what I'm saying? It is much less about random shit than you think. It's less random than you think it is. That's like a exaggerated example, but like people think about that way, 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 way beforehand. Way, 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 way beforehand. Everyone's talking shit about Senna right now. So like when they see Senna, they know to get their jokes off. They're going to call her random new shit and see if there's a new joke that sticks. You feel me? The shit is... It's calculated. It's random, but it's calculated. The fuck Senna do exist.
But
that's my dog though.
What he thinks he's doing is
same with doo-doo garbage. Same thing. Same thing. I liked it better when it seems natural and less calculated. Welcome to my problem, where I want to do random shit that feels natural, but I can't. I can't because I can't compete with people that set up narratives. Thank you for the 20 months, Caustic. It's just the art of the business. Either you get it and you can work with that knowledge. It's like one big improv class, essentially. Everybody that's streaming is one big improv class. That's basically it. And if you, and not to talk shit, but the person who is the worst at this is Agent. if you watch Agent streams, it is like I swear he thinks that everything that's happening is like people believe it, but bro, it's not, bro. It like anybody who knows and like is paying attention for 2 seconds, like bro, this is not real. Like bro, it's not real at all. This is not real. Caustic, thank you so much for the 20 months. I appreciate you. I appreciate you.
Thinks that he's making fun of the non-black people here. Ludwig is here. Ludwig is using the language
Type
to
shit.
kind of like
That was another thing that got stolen. Type shit.
poke fun at what the youth are saying, even though
You're ruining streamers for me. I'm sorry. I'm sorry that the veil is lifted, but you're getting honesty over here. You know, I'll be honest with you. It's like magic. I'm sorry that I told you about how the magic trick worked, and now you'll never be able to unsee it. Tevin, what you're saying makes me think that you're Eisen. I'm Eisen if you choose to believe it.
the youth have gotten it and taken it from the black people, right? So when he says like, you know, fine shit, crash out, unk, things like that, and he's like says it in a way that's like humorous or making fun.
Wait, is Ludwig using a lot of AAVE or something that he's in hot shit? Now he's not in hot shit. We're just watching the video, and you got clickbaited into thinking that there was drama about it. But I did want to talk about the rise of AAVE amongst people that don't speak it.
Fun of it, right? It's supposed to be
Agent spending a week to get round 10 in zombies. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Nah, that marathon is authentic. Stop it. Who struggles to get to round 50 for one whole week unless they wanted to? Come on. Come on, y'all. Come on, y'all. LMAO got clickbaited too, but I wanted to wait and listen before I said anything. Just got here though. Yes. It can be I could turn this into drama, but I'm not. To be fair, Senna is ass. She's bad, but nobody's that bad. If I made you do nothing for a week but shoot free throws, by the end of the week, if you couldn't make 10 free throws in a row, you have like a learning disability, dog. Like you have like a legitimate problem. Wait, so people didn't know the agent was fucking up on purpose and not for satire on COD? Crazy. Like I said, some people just don't see it the same way.
poking fun at what the youth are saying. He's like, oh, like, you know, I'm not like Gen Alpha or Gen Z, but I'm saying Gen Z words. Isn't that funny? But that's coming.
But at the same time, like, here's the thing. Because I don't mean to, like, take away from your... I don't mean to take away from your enjoyment of it by believing in it. Because here's the thing. Now, who would watch if you're fucking up purposely? Everybody. We've seen it time and time again. What are you talking about? But fucking up on purpose is different than being bad, like choosing to be bad. Those are different things, right? To put it in perspective, I could do 50 push-ups right now. I'm capable of doing 50 push-ups in a row right now. But wouldn't the story be better if I really started struggling at 20 and then over the course of like 3 days to a week reached my goal of 50 push-ups? Because the story's better. See what I mean? So I can make my arms shake and I can do all this and that and be like, oh, I can't do it. You know what I mean? But it's not a bad thing. As long as you know it's for entertainment, it's not a bad thing to spin narratives. It's like a Dungeons and Dragons campaign or like watching improv. They're good. It's good content. It's still good content. You just have to not believe that the shit is real. Tevin was faking his workout month pain, confirmed. You guys watch me lose the weight, so you know that shit was real. Also, why would I fake this? Why would I fake my month-long exercise for 20 viewers? Why would I do that for 20 viewers? Why would I do that? Nah. Why would I make worse content? It's not as fun knowing it's inauthentic. None of it's real. I hate to tell you.
Because the Gen Z people
You should still find enjoyment from it though.
took it from black culture and black people. So he thinks he's making fun of these people, but he's actually making fun of these people. And I described this months ago with the term unk. Black people using unk to describe an elder within their community. Non-black people taking that, changing the term to mean an old person, and using it to other non-black people. And then the older non-black people then taking
I do
that
love to
term
entertain.
and using it because that's what the cool kids are using now. This
True.
happens all the time, consistently, like YN, exactly like YN.
I saw a young white teenager call another young white adult YN, and it was crazy. I couldn't believe that shit.
Right, so I don't think the older non-black people are doing it maliciously. They do it for everything that is youth adjacent, right? But they're not understanding that comes from black culture.
Hey, but he had a great point with white people accidentally making fun of black people because they think they're making fun of Gen Z. That is true. That also happens when they try to make fun of their favorite content creator by calling them Unk or YN or whatever the fuck, not realizing that you're kind of making a mockery of what it is. Not to like overlook into it, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, this still is allowed. You couldn't stop it even if you tried. But I wish people did kind of pay it more respect. That's all. AV becoming more popular for non-African Americans is a double-sided sword. There's good that can come from it, but the bad can come when others attempt to change its original meaning of what the AV word meant. Yeah, 100%. 100%. It is something that we have to change, like get used to the change because it's going to happen. A popular word is always a popular word. But it does kind of suck to, we were talking about this with DreamCon. It sucks to see something go mainstream and then it just doesn't apply to what it used to apply to. And so you have to change with it. And sometimes you feel like you are disrespected by the fact that you have to change around the thing that you made. You know what I'm saying? What's the good from it? I mean, if you teach somebody a word, they can communicate with you better.
You think it could be a good thing cause it shows that black voices, culture is being heard more, or you think it's all fucked up and PPL stealing words to feel cool?
I mean, people steal the yes and yes. Both of those things are true. I think as long as the originators of a word, regardless of if it's AV or like poggers type shit, that the proper people get the credit that they deserve for the word. In which case, a lot of AV words that are coming out right now are content creator words. So I'm kind of glad that Kai is like the biggest streamer on the planet right now because he does get to dictate what becomes popular and what doesn't. So as long as he gets that credit, or at least as long as some black person who is making the words credible get credit, it's more okay. It's more okay. Not to say that it is still good because, you know, one person does not act as a monolith for the whole culture, but it's better than nothing. Because back in the day, niggas was just, or non-niggas were just stealing words. And nobody was getting credit. Like when the Renegade came out and everyone thought it was like Addison Rae who came up with the Renegade, but really it was that black girl that came up with the Renegade. And she didn't get no credit until like a year after the motherfucking fact. That wasn't cool. Now it's at least like, at least somebody's getting the fucking credit. At least like we know now the biggest content creator is black, and he's what's dictating these words coming in and out. Now he's not the only one, but at least somebody's getting the credit for it.
And the problem, if it just stopped here, it would still be not good. It would still be bad, but it would be one thing. But it doesn't just stop with this dynamic. Because what happens after this is that
he's going even further. He's going even further.
This dynamic, and we'll start calling all of it cringe. They put this into the bucket of cringe, right? Now they say that saying unk is cringe.
Which it
saying
is. It already
crash
is.
out is cringe.
It
Now
is
it's
now.
cringe to use the language. And now they look at black people who are using language that they came up with and are now chastising them for that language being stolen and commodified.
This is true.
And turned into the butt of the joke by other non-black people and older non-black people.
That's true.
And now they're acting like they're above it. Now the black people using language that they came up with culturally is now called cringe by non-black people after that language was stolen by other non-black people.
But it goes in a circle, though. You know what I'm saying? It'll go in a circle because it goes from like new word. It's a hot new word. Everyone's using it. Really cool. The wrong people start using it. Not very cool. People start calling it cringe. Now the word's dead. But then the word gets so cringe that it kind of becomes cool again. That's like the life cycle. Cultural exchange is good because it expands our worldview. Absolutely. 100% correct.
Yes, I feel uncomfortable using my own language out of not wanting to appear as cringe. Yeah, this happens all the time. And this exact dynamic is not limited to language. This is what I call the commodification of the black identity. This does not just happen with language. This
Yeah, the
happens
worst part
with
is they use it
hairstyles
ironically,
as well.
100%.
Black people wearing black hairstyles, young non-black people taking those hairstyles, wearing them out essentially, that hairstyle being considered
Yeah, let me move the
cringe,
chat real quick.
and then the black people
Whoops.
facing the ramifications for those hairstyles being cringe. I don't think it's necessarily accurate to use stealing when it's just an organic process, but I see your point. No, it's stealing, it's theft. It is not cultural exchange, it is cultural theft. It's stealing.
I don't
There
know where
is
to put
cultural
y'all.
exchange that does happen. This is not it.
I don't know where to put y'all on the screen because he's like right in the way. I guess I'll put you guys like right underneath his chat. But I disagree with him entirely on this. Calling it theft. The moment that you believe that the word, like I understand words, I can understand culture can be theft, but that when you attribute words that aren't like very deeply rooted with black culture, when you start calling that theft, you're running into like really big problems. You're running into like really big problems. I don't think that it's a good thing to say that it is theft to take certain words from the culture, because they are going to be popular. There is no way around it. Something that sounds hard to say, guess what? I'm going to want to use that bitch. So you have to be more lenient than that. What are some words that run deep in the culture? Niggas. That's like a word that, like, no matter how you spin it, has a deep ass history directly with one race. You feel me? I think it's fair to call it theft overall because of the lack of attribution. I don't know if I can fully agree with that. Right? I think that it is just a lack of knowledge and a lack of like people who originally take the word from the person, like the secondhand people, like the Ludwigs, right? They hear it from Mark, they hear it from Kai, then they start using it, right? When they hear it and they don't show love to the culture and whatever, and then the other people start using it, like their fan base starts using it, the fan base, I would consider it theft. For Ludwig and like the people that learn it secondhand would be like negligence. But again, I don't think it's up to them. Like, it is up to them to a certain extent, but like, how do you even have the dialogue of like, you got to give us credit for this word you're about to use? Like, how do you do that? How do you do that properly? You know what I'm saying? There needs to be a way. What I would personally do, is I would like have Mark and Kai and them on a video, because he's only ever had like Berlin, right? He's only ever had Berlizzi like on the channel and like me. But you need to like have more niggas on your YouTube videos if that's how it's gonna be, right? Because you'll pull up to DreamCon and you'll accept their invitations and you'll do all this, that, and the third. which you didn't start doing until you start hanging out with Jason, by the way. But to go over there and then take their, and then, you know, accept the love and the appreciation that they're giving to you, and then like not return the favor and not give credit to like the things that they taught you is odd. One of the worst ones, and I don't know if you guys saw this. But this is probably the worst example, and this one actually pissed me off so bad because I know it wasn't. It's everything we literally just talked about. How like ironic to see the shit was, but like this shit right here when they all played Mario Party on RDC World's channel, and what did they do?
I want the clip here.
The nigga had a do-rag on. And like, we get it. We all know what he's doing. It's funny. White boy with the do-rag. He ain't got no waves. He ain't gonna get no waves. It's funny because he's ironically looking at something from the culture and he's applying it to himself. That can work. But guess what? When he goes home and streams and talks about it, in his chat goes, who the fuck is Mark and Berlizzi? Because you don't have them on your channel, then you are actively denying the credit for like the memes of you in a do-rag. You see what I'm saying? So you have to return that love. You have to return those favors. Now, I don't know what the scheduling is. I don't know if he wanted to have Mark on something or have Berlin on something. You know what I'm saying? But not making the effort is tough. You know what I'm saying? And Senna, bless her heart, I love Senna to death, is more like me, where we grew up with both. And while that's fine, and like we definitely both know the culture, Senna also spins her narrative as a woman who like is black but doesn't get super comfortable in her black body. That's part of her joke. That's part of her narrative. Right? When she can't say nigga, oh, that's funny. That's, you know, that's a black woman that struggles in her own skin because, you know, of jokes, because she doesn't really look it. It's ambiguous. And so like that's not good enough. You can't have her on the yard and make shit sweet. It's not good enough. And and it's not his fault. Like, I'm not saying it's Ludwig's fault because he's probably just not thinking about it like that. It's not malice, or it's like ignorance. It's incompetence. It's not like he's like actively avoiding having niggas on the show. It's probably just because like he doesn't watch them like that, or he doesn't want to do that. He probably just wants to have like Ray and Foosley and Squeaks and people that he likes like closely and knows that he can work with them easily on his shit. But it still becomes incompetence. It still becomes ignorance because you are fucking doing this. You're doing this. But what if you're willingly ignorant? Then you're stupid. It's stupidity, and then you have to actively correct it. But this is a difficult conversation to have because you can't just come up to him and be like, "Hey, man, you're appropriating the culture," because then that's like way too hostile of a start to a conversation because people take that differently than what it is. You know what I mean? It's a hard conversation to have. Yeah, but if you don't fuck with the people that don't make the jokes, don't choose to put the rag on, that's not the way content creation works. How many times have I talked about the fact that I don't make things with people I don't like, and that's rare. That's rare. Think about how many black fans Ludwig can make with just this one video. Who are the top 5 most important black content creators? Corey Kenshin, Kai, RDC World, Berleezy, and then you can put like Soluminati or, you know, FaZe Clan or whoever right there for right now, Rage, Blackboard Max, whatever. But these are two of the top 3, 4, 5 biggest influences in black content. So why wouldn't he come over here? You know how big, how much love you would get for just showing up for some shit like this? Now, that's not to say he doesn't fuck with them. I know for a fact that he likes them. He wouldn't fly to DreamCon to be there in person for no reason, for one day. But I have seen that happen where, like, a good example of this is Mizkif. Mizkif said in his own words that the main reason that he went to Ludwig's Stream Olympics is because he had bad PR and he needed to fix it to get in the good graces of Twitch fans. And he knew that Ludwig is a golden goose. He didn't even fuck with Ludwig at the time. You see what I'm talking about? Like it just goes down like that. What's the ROI of why audiences going to check out Berlin? Pretty fucking high. For Berlin especially. Now, RDC World, that's different. But Berleezy, yeah, he's pretty palatable to all audiences. RDC World is a little bit more black than that. What's up, Lunar Painted Dog?
There are examples of cultural exchange that do happen even within the black community in America. Like when you have like non-black rappers who rise to prominence.
I personally just don't fuck with it.
Can feed into
the streaming shit sounds so industry. If only you knew. If only you knew. And it's not. I get it. At the end of the day, I get it. You have a limited amount of time in the day. You need to do what works best for you. It's just different. It's just a different way of thinking, and it is very numbers based. And everybody will tell you that it's not numbers based or whatever. Them niggas are lying. Them niggas are lying so goddamn bad.
Commodification, right? But it's still cultural exchange.
I thought it was people playing games with friends. 99% of the time, that is true. 99% of the time, that is true. People fuck with each other at different levels, for sure. Like, the problem is, let's say like this. If you have friend A, friend B, and friend C. Friend A is your best friend, but they're like not that popular. Friend B is a good friend of yours, but they're super popular. And friend C is kind of like your enemy, low key, like you're low key plotting on, bro, but they are uber popular. And you can only invite 2 of them. Guess who you're not inviting? Your best friend. Because you'd rather work with the numbers. You see what I'm saying?
And that's permitted. Look at any black person talk about Mac Miller. There is an acceptable level of exchange that does exist. That doesn't come.
You have to take the numbers
into
into consideration. You have to take the numbers into consideration.
The end result is that black people are being chastised for using the language they use. Like I saw on Twitter,
and I don't even want to get into I don't want to get into it too in depth, but there was an example of this that happened to me at DreamCon where somebody that I liked, that I thought we were like on a friendly rapport, actively avoided me. Now, that could be because they thought I was social climbing or like clout chasing or whatever, but actively avoiding me because I wasn't in the same sphere of people that they were was like, that sucks. That sucks. You know what I'm saying?
this account.
And I guarantee, as a matter of fact, we'll revisit this in a couple of months. You know, once I start like working again and getting back on my shit, I guarantee you that person comes back around and it's going to piss me off. It's going to piss me off so bad.
Be like, y'all are still using crash out? That's like such old language. Like they came up with it. Who is y'all? You're looking at black people who have cultivated and created this language that they use internally, and now you're calling them cringe for using the language that was stolen. I don't think the speed of change in acceptable cool language has ever been like this. It's taking a turn, commodifies it, bastardizes it, overuse it, and kill it and move on. Yeah, because it feeds into like the internet cringe culture as well. This process has happened forever.
Yeah, that's kind of true.
But it's so quick now. It happened.
Does that not make you pissed?
Literally,
boy, I crash out over here all the time. Ask chat. Ask chat. I be getting pissed off all the time. I take that so personally. Why do you think the Ludwig and Berlin crash out happened over here? I didn't realize how much of it was business compared to me, who was taking everything so personally. I literally had to learn in real time that I can't take shit like this personally ever because nobody else does. And I still don't like it. I still don't like it. I don't know how everyone else got so adjusted to it because I hate it.
1 year. May 15th, 2024 is when the term fine to describe a beautiful woman, right? And the term fine shit specifically was brought into the lexicon of like the streaming landscape. And as of yesterday, May 31st, 2025, is when you get this.
There you have it. The huzz has spoken.
You guys on me?
Sorry, I am fine shit. Captain, tell him I'm fine shit.
We have to prove our worth. If we get to day 2, you'll unlock fine shit status. It's like a credit card.
Aww.
It's like a credit card. You unlock fine shit status like a credit card, Squeaks. Oh.
Dude, look at these treasure
Do you know
chests.
Discover's
Like
accepted
these,
like
these
everywhere?
are entertainers. It's their job to be funny, and they're just like they're making fun of a term that they know that they don't fully understand.
True.
And that they shouldn't be using as like older people. Like they know that it's not their term, right? They know that like that's why they're saying it like, you know, yeah, I have a fine shit, right? Yeah, the chopped huzz are on the fine shit. They're saying it like that because they know that it's out of place for them. But they think it's out of place because they are of an older generation. They think it's out of place because, you know, this is like language you would expect to hear from like, you know, FaZe Clan or Jason.
I just realized Squeaks does that a lot too. Yeah, it's pretty unfortunate.
Or
What up, Socks?
Lacey or whatever, as opposed to like it's out of place because it's not culturally language that they would use, right? They don't understand that like that the young streamer boys that they got the term from got it from somewhere else. And honestly, I don't even know if they care. I would say that this is mostly online. I don't think it happens IRL. No, it happens IRL. It happens for sure IRL. It doesn't happen this quick IRL.
That's true. It doesn't happen this fast IRL, but it definitely happens for sure.
The ironic usage that like people get mad, like this part of it.
She got a
people call
yacht.
it cringe. Happens because of
Black
because
Boy
of-
Max to Squeaks pipeline is crazy. The Black Boy Max to Squeaks pipeline is so crazy. Do you guys remember when Black Boy Max and Jason and Ronaldo went to Mizkif's house? And how Black Boy Max was just in the fucking corner of the room the whole time because he did not fuck with them niggas at all. He was just in the corner, bro. He was like, I do not fuck with these niggas at all. And like Jason is like a Pogger's kid. So he was like excited to meet Mizkif. He was excited to meet everybody. But Max was like, I do not know. I do not fuck with these niggas. And like they were trying to like get him to be like to like activate fucking content brand. And he was like, nah. That's what happens. That's what happens when the cultures mix. That's what happens. Now I think Ludwig does a really good job because he just doesn't make it awkward, or he leans into the awkwardness of being there and like realizing he's like a fish out of water kind of thing. But you can always tell. You can always tell who like doesn't pay attention to where they're at and who does.
online
You're good, Caustic.
mindset
Appreciate
of
you.
cringe. If something is ordained as cringe on
Funny enough, a homie of mine got into Hassan from Black Boy Max. Hassan is, as much as people don't like him, a good example of somebody who does attribute the culture to the correct people almost every single fucking time. Every single fucking time when you hear Hassan use like a word or like where he learned a meme from, or like he actively like he wanted to go to DreamCon. He didn't hear about it from, you know what I'm saying, other people. He got it from source. Whereas like Ludwig found out about it because of Hassan and because of Jason and and like wanted to go through that. Hassan, he shows a lot of proper love to the people that like gave the, you know. Now he's still a part of the problem. Well, a part of the problem. He's still a part of that zeitgeist where he's calling shit unked and chopped and huzz and shit like that. But he does a better job than a lot of people.
online that is then mirrored.
And also, he very, very, very frequently collabs with the people on his channel, those same people that are about it. Like when he streamed with Jason and Max to go play basketball with him.
In the IRL sphere by being cringe in real life.
Had Crash
while
Dummies on.
Historically, this has happened.
The You Should Know people.
IRL all the time. In 2020,
Last thing I saw at DreamCon was a clip of guys just Q dogging. Yeah, they had a whole group of Qs in there. It was crazy. We better pray to God that content creators and like people over on that side don't learn about Q dogs, bro. I cannot have Ludwig going, oh, and fucking sticking his tongue out and fucking doing that crazy ass dance, bro. Like it's not gonna go well. It's not gonna go well, and it's gonna piss me off. It's gonna hurt so goddamn bad. Imagine he's like, They don't let the GDs in the dough. Like, stop, bro. Stop. They jumped that nigga. Yeah, I know. Qs don't play. I might get beat up. I'm not a Q, and I just did that. They about to send the fucking black vans to my house. They finna whoop my ass. What is Q dogging? So Qs are a black fraternity that have very sacred rituals, symbols that they use, dances that they use. And one of their most popular moves is that they'll do this motion right here, and they'll bark, they'll stick their tongue out, shit like that. I did worry for you when you did it. I'm surprised I didn't get shot in the head immediately. I was worried about content creators running into the black Israelites chanting down the street. Bro, I did see that. I did run into the black Israelites. It was crazy. Shaq's a Q? I didn't know. I did not know that. That's funny as hell. But yeah, God forbid Squeaks fucking does like the alphas dance and shit like that. My mom was a GD and made my first initial G and my second one a D. Oh yeah, you're deep in the trenches.
5, it's a lot more likely for it to be a.
I was almost an alpha, actually. I was almost an alpha, but I went with the white fraternity because I heard on my campus personally, alphas got their ass whooped as a hazing ritual. I think they meant middle name you.
Ordained as cringe a lot quicker because the internet culture.
You was on the line. I was almost on the line.
Which means that
I was almost on the line.
Who were like in school.
Then I found out that they were like
creators.
literally what they would do is they would. I'm gonna have to cut this out of the YouTube video. Fuck. But what I heard was at my specific school that they would make you drink milk and like eggs and shit like that, and then they'd punch you in the stomach and make you throw up. Like, why the fuck would they do? Whatever. My aunt's an AKA, but I just did local instead of Divine 9. True. How much is it to join a frat? It depends on what school you're at and what chapter you're on.
Call cringe will call students in their real life cringe because people online are calling it cringe.
There's some guys that were alpha and we're hanging out with them and want to be with them, but at the same time, no. They're still cool people. Like in real life, they're cool people, but when they
the problem is
when they get into that frat mode, it's crazy. Do frats take scholarships? They can provide scholarships.
Black culture, number one, and that language being discarded when it becomes cringe, and then that cringeness is weaponized against the people who made it in the first place. That's what the problem is. That's what the issue is. And there's an added layer on top of it.
Pledging is,
which if I zoom out even further about why it's bad specifically in this case, you have another group of people outside of the people calling it cringe who put
that's how you have to bark when you do the Q bark too.
Unprofessional. You can't just
bark. You got to really throw that bitch out there.
Society, then calling this language unprofessional, right? Calling this language or deeming it as unworthy, deeming it as less than standard English, which they do.
Yeah, if it reaches Jimmy Fallon, it's over with.
As uneducated.
Super over with.
And that has real ramifications in things that we talk about, like hiring disparities, in like police violence.
Okay, you're losing me super hard here. I understand what you mean in a vacuum. or not in a vacuum, but as like a greater thing, but saying that these things are what cause those things, that's a small fraction. Small fraction. It's a smaller piece of the whole. Come on. Deadass even Gen Alpha isn't even Gen Alpha term. That word goes ways back. Dude, deadass is a old ass term.
Pull up.
Yeah,
Wait,
So
definitely
it's
do
worth
that.
picking up items no matter what.
We're playing like fine
Yeah.
shit.
Okay, that one is really bad. That one is bad. That one, there is no way around it. That one would piss me off. That one had me hot. Okay, that one's like, okay, all right, enough of that. That one did critical damage. Did you see me lean back? What do you mean you're playing like fine shit? Someone explain that to me. Someone explain that to me right now. What does that mean? We're playing like fine shit. That sounds like you're playing badly. We're playing like a bunch of fine shit right now. Isn't this a fine shit thing we've got ourselves into? I'm playing like the Huz. Oh! I don't like that. That one fucked me up.
Yeah,
Wait,
So
definitely
it's
do
worth
that.
picking up items no matter what.
We're playing like fine shit.
I can't hear it again. That's terrible.
We are playing like fine shit for real.
Yeah, we all have our diz out.
Okay, you know what? See, Slime always kind of makes it okay. Cause he's like making fun of them for saying the thing. But that one hurt me.
You're what out?
What?
See, they didn't know. That's why I low key fuck with Slime. Cause he makes fun of them for trying to be funny and cringe.
Our diz.
I don't like when you say that.
Why?
I don't
I just-
understand.
Can I not like things? Can I
1990.
not like things?
I was born in 1990, man.
That is
Shot
so
cause
long.
AV because I regularly recall Olympic saying it on a Wine About It episode. Yes. Or like it,
Is did not mainstream? A lot of people don't know did. Is this Chinese water torture? What up, Mark?
Goofy Ah. Goofy Ah was a thing as well.
Come on, fine shit.
You know what? That one was used correctly, I guess. That was used correctly.
That must be me. Sometimes I do feel like fine shit. I've been trying to
They say it, and I was watching pretty much the entire time. They say it so much.
Put that anchor in his fine shit.
All right, you lost me, Slime. I'm sorry. I was with you until. How about you? I was with you until that moment.
Shit at you.
We didn't know there's a second guy.
Where's fine shit? Oh, he's over there.
Okay, he used it correctly there. I'm not gonna be.
You see us on the map?
Please, I'm the Duchess, not fine shit. Yeah, there's some farmers.
You're saying the Duchess is not fine shit?
I don't like to be referred to as such.
But what if you just are that?
I fight for the
It
chopped
sounds
Huz.
cringe already. Just asking that you try to use it correctly, or just try to be around black people.
That's kind of the whole. That could summarize literally this entire video. That could summarize this entire video in like the entire argument in and of itself. Just be around black people, bro. If you want to use these words, if you want to know what they mean, just hang around the people that use them. It will make sense. You'll learn it if you hang around them or watch their streams or like get involved with what they do. It will make sense. That's kind of the whole point. my little in summary for it though is that like it's not that serious. It's not that serious of an issue to where like we have to have a whole dialogue about it. But I think it is something that like is in the back of your head, you know?